Hello. We are going to another Stormblood dungeon. This time we're running with the NPCs. Doma Castle. This is a big deal, especially with the story. Alright, so making sure I got my tank stands. I got a bit of food here. If you are still leveling your jobs and classes, you want to have some food up to get the experience buff. Yeah, so I'm gonna grab all this stuff and then hang over here and pick up these other ads. It looks like there's a bunch of them, but they don't hit as hard, and so you're good to go to, like, I use some mitigation here, but I'm mostly okay. Mostly okay. I used some mitigation, but I also had my invuln too. So I wasn't keeping track of the healer, but they're down here. They're there. Yeah, there's nothing too special about this set. I mean, there's not even like AoEs to dodge, so this is a pretty simple pool. So you can just focus on your own thing here. So it's a good place to practice if you want to practice stuff. Okay, when we cleared that, the wall opens up, and then we got this big one here, and then we're gonna go up this ramp. So I'm gonna pick it up, and then I'm gonna keep running and pick up this next set. Watch out for the AoEs here. I went back a little bit just to make sure the NPCs were still following me. And I'm gonna go up to this other ramp too. And again, watch out for AoEs. And, like, dropping and stuff. Okay, I started using Clemency on myself to heal myself because I could tell that the shaman healer was kind of straggling behind. And so if you're gonna do big pulls like this with the NPC groups, then you gotta make sure you can kind of take care of yourself too. This big Colossus thing can do big cone AoEs. See, it uses sword to like swipe, so you gotta watch out for those. And again, watch out for the circle AoEs on the ground. Watch out. first boss. I'm gonna turn the boss around. Along the wall up here, there are these magic tech bits. So you'll have to pay attention to these things a little bit later for different mechanics. Okay, the sermon pile, it's shot like in the front, that's considered the tank cleave things. So make sure the boss is facing away from everybody else. Okay, Garlean Fire, it's gonna target a random person. Okay, so it's targeting Yugiri here. And then when you see these these circles with the arrows, but you can kind of consider it a line AoE because the circles keep going. So it's gonna hit and it's gonna keep hitting in this line formation. So make sure you're not standing in the way of that. Okay, here we have the line AoEs coming out from these bits in the front. So you want to dodge those lines. Just stand between them. Alright, we got some bits on the sides now. The glowing versions. So we have to dodge these vertical ones from the front. And then I'm also getting hit with the sermon pile, so that's the tank stuff in the front. And then the glowing ones, these ones, are now moving across the stage. So there's a lot kind of happening right now. And then the Garlean Fire thing is dropping here. So we got the circles with the arrows and it's going this way. So there's a lot to avoid. As the tank, I'm just staying in the front here to make sure any of those tank buster things only attack me. And if you're in the back there, you want to avoid whenever the boss targets somebody with those Garlean Fire AoE things, and then you want to dodge the bits. So we'll probably see it again. Okay, so this time, these AoEs from the front ones they're wider, so I'm gonna have to like move over to the side and dodge them. And then these gold rear guard mines are back there, right? So here I get hit with my tank buster, the sermon pile. I move out of the way into a clear spot, but I'm still staying in front, like up here, just so the boss doesn't like turn all over the place and hit people. Okay, the front bots lines go off. These bots start moving, and so be careful when you're dodging stuff that you don't walk into one of these. The Garlean Fire is targeting a person. It happens to be Yugiri again. This time we've got like 2 of the blasts, so it's going to be an even bigger line AoE this way. So make sure you're not standing in that direction. Okay, and then we get these random like AoEs that drop. Oh, actually wait. If one of the mines bumps into somebody, it'll explode, and so that seems to be what happened. Okay, this one hit the shaman, and so it's self-detonating, and that's what this AoE is. So you gotta make sure to stand outside of that. Okay, dodge out of these lines. Watch for the Garlean Fire, so don't stand in the way of this. Okay, dodge these lines again. And then watch out for these things that go across the stage. Great, we did it. Mechanically it's not too bad, but when they overlap it does kind of like get a little bit chaotic, but it's doable. Like once you break it all down and understand like they'll all happen in a certain order, then I think it's pretty doable. This next pool can be kind of spicy. Also, that really big thing has a super huge cone, so watch out for that. Treasure coffer here if you want it. These little piggies come out, so I'm gonna have to grab those too.
Now fall.
Okay, so this big one, does a line AoE that you'll have to watch out for. I am going to try to do a big pool. So I'm turning, making sure they're all following me. I run into this corner to try to line of sight everything so that they actually will come over here. And if I keep them in this corner, I'm hoping that my NPC people will kind of move a little bit faster towards them. Okay, watch out for these cones. Okay, I got hit with the thing, so I got paralyzed. You can use a Suna on this, but yeah, okay, so this next part, these things are gonna do line AoEs. You can see this one popping up. So you gotta wait for this to explode before you walk into it. Okay, and it's called Reckless Charge. Literally, because I'm recklessly charging into this, that's a pretty good name. I'm pulling all this stuff over here. I'm gonna try to maintain this pool, but I'm also like, dang, where the shaman at? And so I just park it right here, using clemency on myself to try to stay alive. This thing is going here. My NPC people are finally catching up. This is a difficult pool in general, just because if people aren't prepared to run with you, then you can die quickly. And with the NPCs, it's also kind of difficult because they're not always running right next to you, and so it's just hard in general. But because everything was reset, when you wipe with the NPCs, you reset everything here. Well, if you wipe in general, like even when you're running with other people in Duty Finder and stuff like that, then if everybody goes to the beginning, everyone's stuff gets reset. If you're running with the NPCs, if you die, then everything resets. Like the healer won't raise you, you just go back to the start. So that's fine. I have all my stuff. I'm gonna try to do the pool again, and this time I have more mitigation, and so I'm gonna try to salvage this. Okay, I have my invuln. This thing is just staying over there, which is kind of annoying, and so I try to like run even further to try to get it to follow me and not stand in the way of this, because if it does that, then the NPCs will keep standing in that. And so I try to move further out here, try to keep myself alive, trying to dodge this big AoE. Okay, so that was okay. If you don't want to be doing risky stuff like that, you don't have to do a big pull like this. You can do smaller pulls, but I wanted to see how far I could take the NPCs here. It really is just tricky getting them to turn the corners faster, because if they can still see you, then they're not gonna like keep going. Like, they're gonna just attack whatever that they can still see. And so that's why I try to move the ads around to different places that they can't necessarily see, so then they go searching for them. But the difficulty of that is then I might get damaged a lot and lose health, and so it's a delicate balance. Okay, some treasure chests if you want it. This next section is similar. There are those cannon thingies that go across the way, so you can wait. Okay, now I'm gonna pick up this set and then make my way around to the back. There's just one pack here. I think if you really want to go extreme, you can try to do that entire pool but I didn't have confidence that this NPC group could do that. So I mean, we wiped that over the time, right? So it's tricky. Next boss. This thing's got a bunch of wheels. I'm gonna turn it around. Oh, it's a hexadrone because it's got like 6 wheels. Okay. Circle of death. Alright, we got a circle here, so you just get out of that. It's kind of hard to see. The color is kind of similar to the ground. Well, it looks like you get knocked back if you get hit with it. Okay, we got a stack marker, so everybody stack up. With the NPCs, usually the NPCs stay pretty close to the center. So, yeah, most people in general will go near to the center. Okay, so this mechanic, we've got little bits on the sides, and they're pointing lasers out, so you want to stay away from that. The lasers will expand, and so make sure you're not standing like too close to it. Like, just move over to the side a little bit. Okay, circle of death. Make sure you get out of the circle. Okay, so we have an overlap thing here. So we've got these laser lines, and just remember they expand out. And then we've got this circle that you need to avoid. So find a safe spot between all of this stuff. I'm going onto the other side just to make sure like the NPCs are behind the boss in case there's any tank busters and stuff. Here we have this tower soak. So you need to have at least one person in here. So I'm going in and I'm going to take the soak for us. Okay. Alright, again we've got these things, and remember they're going to expand, so you want to stay a little bit further away from them. And there's a stack marker, so we want to stack up, and I'm like, you guys don't stand in the thing. I wanted to stand in the thing because I wanted to see what happened. You get knocked back, you take some damage, but I didn't want my party to stand in the stack marker, and so I was like, no, you guys go over here, and so they moved over, and then I went to stand in the thing. So yeah, be careful with this. You get knocked back, but you're close to another one, you'll probably just keep going like that or something. Okay, see, so if you step in it, now I'm just playing around. You step in it, you get knocked back. If you get hit with the circle of death, you also get knocked backwards. Okay. Yeah, because it like spins around. And I just take missiles again, so we gotta, you know, avoid these and they'll expand and stuff. But then we need people stacking in each tower. So since they all ran over here, I was like, alright, I'll take this one. And you want to try to avoid this laser line while you're soaking the tower. If you don't soak the tower, typically you'll take... Okay, so there was like other towers to soak there, but we were able to skip through the rest of that. Usually if you don't soak towers, everybody ends up getting hit with more damage. And so that's why if you see towers, you need to soak them. Okay. It looks like we can run up here, but we actually can't. There's rubble. So I'm gonna grab all this and go off to the side stairs. This is gonna be a bit of a big pull too, and so just be mindful of that. There's a treasure coffer here. I'm gonna run all of this up here. There's rubble that falls here, so you can't go over there. Typically, you want to just follow where the ads are. Okay, so I'm gonna go all the way up here. Try to heal myself a little bit so I don't die. Okay. Watch out for all these cone AoEs. Pretty sure there's a treasure coffer down here somewhere too. I thought I saw it. Okay, when we take care of that set of ads, these doors will open and then we'll get the next set. Oh, there's not. Never mind. I thought there was one there. Are you sure? Oh, it's here. This one. It's in the on the middle floor. The treasure coffer, if you want that. Okay. So this next little thing. Oh, there's a treasure coffer here. Usually, I just keep it down here, but for this time, I wanted to bring it up to try to figure out why most people just keep it over there. Okay, launcher, that thing is gonna attack everybody with this hit. See, everybody took damage. So you gotta make sure you're near your healer for some heals. So I was too far away. And because there's like a stairway up here, if you see my guys, you know I don't like stairs. Technically they can see me and stuff, but that doesn't mean they're close to me just because of the nature of, you know, physics. And then also, okay, there's an AoE that's gonna drop here. That's this thing. But then also we have some other ads that dropped over there in the back. And so I need to go pick those up. And so I was like, you know what? I think that's why most people just do the pull right here. So then when these dudes drop, they go down, and then you don't have to like run back to find them. And also, if we're down here, we're on the flat ground, and so we don't get in the situation where the NPCs are hanging out down here, and I'm all the way over here, and they're not close enough to heal me, but they can still technically see the boss. So, you know, it's a whole situation. But it's also fine. It's fine if you want to park it here. It's just, it can be hard to see the ads that drop just because of this boss is kind of big. But if you're just already down here, the ads will pop up like in front of your camera and then they'll go run back. But if they drop here and I'm like up here and they're close to the other party members, then they'll go attack those people first. And so as a tank, I want to be able to see where all the ads are pretty quickly so I can pick them up. It just makes it more efficient. Like ultimately it's fine as long as you get them eventually, but it's always kind of nice to know why people like learn to run dungeons a certain way. Oh yeah, also the big spider armored weapon thing did the launcher thing again. And so we got hit with a big raid wide, essentially. This thing. So if you're healing for this and it does the launcher thing, just know that everyone gets hit with that. Okay. I remember there's a treasure coffer here. Oh, there's still this one. Alright, find a boss. His mask kind of looks like Shrek, doesn't it? Kind of. Okay. I'm gonna turn the boss. His hitbox is pretty small, and so, you know, it's a little difficult sometimes to figure out where he's facing, so you gotta look at his actual, like, character model. So, Chainsaw will hit, like, in front here. And I continuously get hit with this. Technically, like, you can consider this, I forgot what it's called, but it's just a repetitive thing. Like, you can move out of this, but if you stand there, you're gonna keep getting hit with it. And so if anybody else ends up moving in front of there, they'll get hit with that. Okay. This move, we've got 2 people with these markers, so these AoE markers, you want to spread those out. They blow up, and you can come back. Now he's like shooting over here, and it's just like targeting one person. Happens to be the shaman. And so if you're healing that, you want to, like, you know, heal that person up. Okay. So here now we've got this person with a target marker. He's really picking on the healer here. They've got this glowing thing around them, and then this other ring, and then this other bigger thing. And so if you get this, you want to take it away from everybody else. Because a proximity marker. Plant it somewhere in the corner. Once it drops, okay, once it drops down there, and then you don't have the glowing thing around you anymore, then run all the way across. That way you won't get hit with the thing. You have enough time if you run immediately back across to everyone else. Okay. So we want to be away from that proximity marker. Right. So, one more time. This thing's going to shoot one person, and the healer just needs to keep them healed up. One person's target, drop it somewhere far away from people. Everyone else run to the opposite diagonal side, and then we should be good. Okay, the boss goes back to the center, and now we've got these saws on the side of the stage. You want to stand between the saws. But also move your camera, because there's saws on this side too. So you gotta figure out, okay, now he's shooting, he's choosing one person again and just shooting at them, and you gotta just keep that person healed up. I'm trying to deal with the saw situation. By getting closer to one of them, I can better see that, the saws kind of probably do this, and then this one's like this, and then this one is like this, and it's like this. And so I should be okay if I just stay here in the middle. Okay? And again, when the boss is just shooting at one person, that's just you gotta heal them up. And like, don't run in front of that person. Okay. So, healer, keep the person who's getting shot healed up, Everyone else, figure out where these chainsaw things are going. Okay. There we go. Glide. By running closer to one, I realized I could probably stand between this spot and this spot. Okay, so this is our safe spot. We got 2 people with the AoEs, so we're gonna have to avoid standing near each other. These chainsaw things are gonna go off. Okay, and the AoEs go off at the same time. So, in this moment of running to a safe spot, you gotta dodge out of these AoEs at the same time. Okay, the saws are out again. So again, I'm gonna try to find where there might be a gap between the saws. They may be over here. Okay, he's shooting at one person again, so everyone's just hanging out over there. Okay, yeah. So here, I was like, it kind of seems like there's a bit more space here than between this one and this one, and it turns out that was right. So here, you do have enough time. See, they were here, and they have enough time to run into the safe spot. Okay, and then the 2 people with the AoEs need to dodge out away from others. So this fight they did change from the older version. So, okay, so we saw this before. The line things that will expand. Okay, and so now we got some things overlapping here. One person's got the proximity marker, they're gonna take it to a corner. Everyone else... Oh, they both like walked into them and got like knocked backwards. Everyone else run to a safe spot. Okay, see, chainsaw kind of just goes off over here in one direction, and it's not really hitting anyone right now. And I'm hanging out on the side. Okay, let me just go back here. So yeah, this is probably the most chaotic one. But just remember, these laser things expand, but then also the proximity marker needs to go away. It doesn't seem like you take that much of a hit from the knockback of the laser thing, but they do explode, and you have some time to move into a safer spot. Unless the NPCs did that very specifically so that we could run through. Maybe. Maybe they did. But yeah, it's important to make sure you plant the AoE far away from everyone else. And then when this chainsaw thing's going out, don't stand in front of it. Like I was earlier at the beginning of the fight. Cool. Okay, the wiki thingy says that, yeah, it will split the arena into 4 quadrants, usually alongside the thermal barrier charge, which is the proximity marker. And this is to restrict how far you can drop it if you're not prepared for it. Yeah, and so I think the NPCs probably did, like, break the laser thingy so we can just run through it. So, yeah, good for them. Cool. Alright, bye.